should cut down on my drinking.
Anyway.
Yeah, but that was the article you shared earlier that sort of teed me off the most, was about the sword scene where he pulls out the gun and how that was problematic or what have you, insensitive or whatever. I mean, but that's
to those that identify as swords.
Well, Turn, you had some good thoughts on that. That I was doing kind of clickbaity. Hey, I'm just going to read this article and insert my commentary. To make fun of it. You had some deeper insights. Yeah,
but that's it's because that scene isn't just out there by itself. I mean, that is who Indiana Jones is, right? Indiana Jones. Yeah, well, no, I'm not a racist. No, different.
Indiana Jones is a racist.
He is looking for the easiest way to get out of a situation. He is not Tony Stark in a cave, and I'm going to build the Iron Man suit, right? I mean, he is completely a different character, and the same movie has a scene with the prop airplane. And the jacked guy that looks like he's in from whatever
the Yahtzee mechanic.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out comes up, and it's not like Indiana Jones is like, let's rock. He's just rolling. He's like, oh, can we not do this, please? Right? That's his character. He's not looking to make his life as difficult as possible. He's looking for the easy way out. I mean, that's what makes that scene work with the swordsman is look at my skill. I'm this wonderful swordsman. He's like, yeah, okay, well, I'll just shoot you on to the next thing, right?
Exactly. Indy is the slacker that is in the pursuit of whatever it is that he wants, right? And that doesn't carry through to the new movies at all.
Yeah, well, look at the scene. Let's take that a step further in the character, right? So you've got him as he's kind of this middling college professor who is probably sleeping with a bunch of his students, and he gets to I think it's Last Crusade where he his father sends him the Grail diary, and he's finishes class. He goes back to his office. He's got office hours posted. There's everyone's like, I got to talk to you about this grade. And, he's like, okay. Everyone form an orderly line and I'll see you one at a time. He goes in, closes the door, and then jumps out the window, and runs away.
Avoids it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like what all of us would do. You would want to do.
Yes, he's the avoider. I mean, he's the avoider, right? That's if he can, he's going to avoid it. And that's and usually, because when we were discussing this, I went up to look up other clips, like the beginning of Temple of Doom, where he's at this ballroom or whatever, and they're and he basically has got the tables turned on him. He's been poisoned, and it's just by luck of circumstances that he manages to get all of it's bumbling. It's a completely different type of hero than what we're used to, with Marvel, what we've been seeing, right?
Right.
And Marvel's even worse now, because at least their initial characters had character flaws. Well, that's the whole none of them have any character flaws, and that was the whole thing with Indiana Jones. Was he's a lovable professor who just happens to be an archaeologist,
grave robber.
Yeah, grave robber, but I mean, he has
archaeologist / adventure sports.
I'm not taking his strengths away from him. He has strengths, that's for sure, but he also has a whole list of character flaws, right? Snakes being one of them, right? So,
right,
and that's what makes it compelling entertainment and a compelling character. Yeah, because nobody wants to watch a movie where that's all the woke stuff, all of that aside. You take all of that, put that aside. Okay, nobody wants to watch a movie where you're like, I know what's going to happen, right?
Right.
This guy's gonna, in the next scene they're gonna kick their ass, and the next scene they're gonna kick.
I'm actually pretty certain that all of this is just building on what I've seen in children's education and all of that. Because it's going to the simple solution. And that's why all of those 80s and 90s movies, guys, were so good, is because you had, I mean, think of it. Die Hard, same thing. Okay? He was not perfect. He wasn't good at it. He was hurting until he, threw Hans Gruber off the roof. Right?
Yes.
But that's a rough movie.
Well,
and then in the latest Die Hards, they make him like invincible.
Right. Die Hard
doing
3,
this
he's
stuff.
like a borderline alcoholic, hungover guy, like that gets, they call him out of bed and is on his bender and stick him out.
And listen,
there
in the
with
80s, when you did that, like with was it 48 Hours with Mel Gibson and Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon is
Lethal Weapon, and Mel Gibson's like drunk and
Riggs.
whatever.
Riggs and Murtaugh.
Riggs. There you are, Riggs. And you look at the 80s stuff, they had flaws and benefits and a real life and a connection. And you watched the movie and you were like, I understand these people. And you're like, wow. I mean, but today they make these movies, you're like, I don't give a shit about any of this stuff. Any of the characters, any of the story. Okay, the story is whatever. It's like you might as well just put a sitcom on, right? I mean, it's whatever. It's
because you can't even suspend. I mean, I'm not saying that
you can't suspend reality. And just watch
you disbelief.
the movie.
Because well, I mean, you're not consciously sitting through Indiana Jones going, oh, he might die in this, right? Obviously, on some level that he's going to make it through the movie, right? But
until he gets Thanos snapped in the 5th movie,
but the character is produced in such a way that every scene is tension, because you're like, well, how is he going to get out of this one? I mean, there was another scene in Temple of Doom where he's another jacked guy that he's barely fighting, punching, getting a bigger punch back. And the only thing that saves him on that is this guy's turban gets caught in the steamroller or whatever the hell it was.
Right.
And it gets squished. I mean, by luck, So, and I mean, but that's life, right? I mean,
well, just look at the opening of Raiders. He's kind of a loser, right? They're going after the idol. He's got this crew of mercenaries or handymen,
and they show him up.
They double cross him, and then he gets out by the skin of his teeth from all the booby traps, and then the French guy Belloc is there to take the prize from him, and he's like, when are you going to learn? How many times do I have to keep beating you?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It sets it up. He's the underdog.